I have spent 30 years cataloging impossible things, places, creatures, songs that kill. But the most dangerous things I have ever found are not places, not monsters, not even gods. They are documents, design notes, drafts, fragments of the creative process behind the horrors that walk Faerûn. And I have acquired something that should not exist, a collection of design fragments from the gods themselves. Their unearthed arcana, their playtest notes for the plagues they would unleash, the warriors they would bind, the monsters they would set loose. I do not know who compiled these fragments. A scribe in Candlekeep who went mad? A priest who stole them from his own god's altar? A warlock who found them in the terms and conditions of his pact, scribbled in the margins, written in a hand that burned the page as he read it? What matters is that they are real. I have verified enough of them against historical events to know that the rest is not fiction. And the implications are troubling. The gods do not simply create. They iterate. They test. They gather feedback. And sometimes they shelve a design because it was too dangerous even for them. The first fragment concerns the pestilence domain. Clerics who draw power from deities of disease, poison, blight, and plague. In the Forgotten Realms, the primary architects of this domain are Talona, Lady of Poison, and Incabulos, the god of plagues and nightmares. Among the Orc pantheon, Urtus claims similar territory. The fragment reveals something extraordinary: the use of exhaustion as a divine mechanism. Most divine afflictions kill quickly. A fireball, a smite, a curse that stops the heart. But the pestilence cleric's design specifies a slower death, a wasting. The victim does not fall in battle. They weaken over hours, days, becoming too tired to lift their sword, too exhausted to speak, too drained to pray. They feel themselves dying by degrees, fully conscious, fully aware. The fragment notes that this mechanic, exhaustion, is described as not a lever we pull too often, because it is a very potent effect. The implication is staggering. The gods have tools they are reluctant to use, weapons in their arsenal that even they consider disproportionate. Talona has no such reluctance. Talona never has. The second fragment describes something called the Circle of the Titan. Druids who can become gargantuan. Not large, not huge, gargantuan. As big as the room they're standing in, as big as a cathedral. The original design allowed them to maintain this form for hours. The revised design specifies minutes, 10 minutes to be precise. The fragment is unusually candid about the reason. The original duration was reduced so the druid would feel more powerful. Concentrated power. 10 minutes of absolute destruction instead of hours of moderate threat. The fragment uses the phrase, 10 minutes of destruction. 10 minutes of heroism. I have walked through the ruins of a village in the spine of the world where something gargantuan had passed. The walls were not broken. They were absent, removed from the world as if they had never existed. The ground was pressed out flat as glass. I did not know what caused it. Now I do. 10 minutes. That is all a god needs to erase a town if the god has designed the right vessel. The third fragment is the one that keeps me awake. It describes the Hell Knight, a warrior bound by infernal contract. The original design included a mechanism called Devil's Luck that triggered on a roll of 6, the number of the beast. The revised design makes the core abilities reliable, automatic, while preserving the luck element for higher levels. Here is what the fragment does not say, but what I have pieced together from other sources. The Hell Knight contract is not a bargain. It is a statistical model. The devil does not want your soul. Souls are currency. The devil wants data. Every time a Hell Knight fights, every activation, every instance of luck or its absence, all of it feeds back to the 9 hells. The devils are testing their designs too. The mortal Hell Knight believes they are gambling. They are not. They are the experiment. And in the highest levels of the contract, the fragment notes, the luck element returns. Push your luck. Push it further. See how far the devil's patience extends before the bill comes due. The 4th fragment illuminates something I have observed but never understood: the Abyssal Sorcerer. The original design was an aura, an emanation of abyssal energy extending from the sorcerer's body. The fragment notes a problem. The sorcerer is squishy, fragile, vulnerable. Requiring them to approach their enemies to harm them was considered a design flaw. The revision is elegant and horrifying. Instead of emanating from the sorcerer, the abyssal energy now manifests at a point of the sorcerer's choosing. A rupture in space, an abyssal chasm that opens where the sorcerer points, regardless of distance. The fragment celebrates this as a quality of life improvement. A better user experience. The sorcerer can now stand on a hill, point at a village, and watch an abyssal portal consume it from a safe distance. I have seen the aftermath of such a rupture. The ground does not heal. Nothing grows there. The abyss leaves a signature that even the weave cannot wash out. What disturbs me most about these fragments is not their content. It is the evidence they provide of a process. The gods do not simply will things into being. They design, they test, they gather survey feedback, prayers, sacrifices, the screams of the faithful and the damned alike. They have advisory councils. They iterate. They shelve designs that did not perform well and revisit them later, sometimes centuries later, when the conditions are right. The fragment authors speak of natural cutoff periods, and the train needs to run on time. Even gods have deadlines. Even gods have product cycles. The time of troubles was not chaos. It was a sprint that went over schedule. Somewhere in the outer planes, there is a divine equivalent of these fragments, a living document, constantly updated, tracking every horror the gods have designed, tested, deployed, and retired. And somewhere in that document, there's a section titled Mortality that none of them have figured out how to balance. We are the playtest. We have always been the playtest. I have sealed these fragments within the impossible archive, not because they are dangerous to read, but because they are dangerous to believe. The moment you understand that gods iterate, you understand that they can be wrong. And the moment you understand that gods can be wrong, you start to wonder what else they designed poorly. The weave, the wool of the faithless, death itself. I am still cataloging. The next fragment I'm pursuing concerns something older than the gods, something that predates the design documents themselves. The primordial chaos from which the first divine draft was pulled. Some designs, I suspect, were never meant to be found. This account has been sealed within the impossible archive.
The Impossible Archive is open. New episodes every week. Subscribe before the next entry disappears.